Let's see what you've written today.
Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it?
Hizashi. This one might even be better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing.
Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to give it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty.
I'm not used to this.
Used to what?
I don't know.
It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her.
Yeah. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy.
Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it.
I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me.
Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today?
Yeah, I do. If it's with you.
The raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scattering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited, or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. Dang, that's twisted.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's.
I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about.
Same. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them.
Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean.
Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them.
Why do you keep them to yourself?
Because they're embarrassing. And people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Hizashi?
Well, yeah, I guess I do.
I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now. But I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening, hand-feeding me chocolate. There really aren't many people like you, Hizashi.
That's exaggerating a little bit.
It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now, I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that.
It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear.
Well, I can admit that it's better than the last one. Really? She admits that it's better? I would have thought she said it was worse. Okay. It's nice to see you're putting in some effort.
That's good.
But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious.
What do you mean by that?
Poems don't need to be all deep-sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level.
Natsuki stopped short of all of a sudden.
Oh, don't tell me.
Huh?
You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you?
What are you talking about? Keep your voice down.
You know Yuri would love this this angsty...
Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I mean... Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me.
I am so done with you.
Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me.
Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me.
Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place.
Oh, I like this one, Hizashi. It has some nice feelings in it.
I'm glad. So it's at least better than yesterday's.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm getting better at this then.
Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem.
I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Well, whatever.
Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems? Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. I like happy the most. But sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can give the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow.
Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic.
It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Hizashi.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this one is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic.
Hi again, Hizashi. How's the writing going?
All right, I guess.
I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece.
I wouldn't count on that.
You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today?
Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica.
All right. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your own style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style?
I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented.
Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen.
I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside of her.
Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers?
I hope you don't mean that in a bad way.
No, of course not. I just meant that I wished she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that, you must be pretty into her.
You completely misunderstood.
Calm down. I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend.
Wait, really?
Yeah, a fictional one anyway.
Monica kind of whispers that last part to me.
It's just a hunch, but...
Well, there's not really anything wrong with that.
Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room.
Is this about the festival?
Well, sort of.
Ugh. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations.
Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the events.
Okay, that's great and all. But that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event.
Sorry. I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing.
Performing? Monica.
Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it all on the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time.
Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see.
Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you?
Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea?
Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that.
Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear.
Guys. No, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it.
Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice.
I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but...
It looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get over it.
Alright. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri?
Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces.
I guess I don't really have a choice.
Ah! That's everyone! You're the best, Yuri!
This club is seriously going to be the death of me.
Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see.
Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium.
The title of this poem is The Way They Fly.
Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply the emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural?
That was so good, Monica! Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example.
I'll go next.
Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium.
This poem is called Afterimage of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she started reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone's stunned. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat.
Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing.
Looks like Yuri is down for the count.
Okay. I guess I'm next then.
Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium.
This one's called My Meadow.
Sayori begins her poem. Somehow, it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Good job, Sayori.
Even Hizashi liked it. I guess that's a good sign.
What does that even mean?
It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. Now, who's next? Natsuki?
Don't make me go before Hizashi. Might as well let Hizashi lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it.
Natsuki.
That's wooed. It's fine, it's fine. I might as well get it over with. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else.
Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki.
Yeah. I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again.
Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people?
I mean, doing it in front of other people would be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing.
That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me.
Well, that's just how it is, so...
Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you'll all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting.
Jeez. I should probably find some other poem to recite it instead.
That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival's coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait!
I can do this. I can do this. Alright.
I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. It's for the sake of the club, and impressing Monica. Then I'll have to do my best.
Ready to go, Sayori?
Yep.
Look at you two, always going home together like that.
It's kind of adorable, isn't it?
Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well...
How am I supposed to respond to that?
It's okay, Hizashi. You don't have to say it.
Whatever. Let's go already.
I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori's being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori.
Sorry, I was spacing out.
No wonder.
I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... I mean...
Sayori fumbles with her words.
So let's say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you.
Huh?
What would you do?
What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well... Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I'd feel awful turning her down, so...
Isn't she beautiful and smart?
That has nothing to do with what I just said.
You admitted it.
Jeez. There's not any point in speculating something that's never going to happen.
Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know?
Need you? Sayori, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now.
Sorry.
Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you.
If you say so.
The conversation trails off and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time?